Hello. I just wanted to go over what the Nearpod videos and screencastifys are for, and the dress up days are about this week. So a lot of parents and learning coaches had reached out with Zap the Zeros coming up, and we're kind of like had started working on it this last week, and but we're like really focusing on it this week. Are there any extra credit sessions or extra credit opportunities? Technically, no. Not until the end of the school year. And then it's like really limited with extra credit. But there's an ELA, a math, a science, and a social studies Nearpod. These Nearpods, if your students complete them by Wednesday, they will be able to, I'll be able to apply 10 points to your students' lowest, if they complete all four. So if they complete the ELA, the math, science, and the social studies, I'll be able to add them, uh, add 10 points to your students' lowest ELA, math, science, and social studies grade. Now, they have to be grades, not like missing grades, and it can't be a TFAR grade. So it has to be an OLS grade that they've completed. So if it's an M in the grade book, I can't, they have to have gone in and done work. But if they've gone in, done the work, and then they have gone in and done these Nearpods, then I can add 10 points, up to 10 points. So technically that's the only, it's not extra credit, but I can kind of like add an additional 10 points to their lowest grades. Also, on your students' plan, there are ELA math open or help classes. During these help classes, we are going through OLS lessons where a lot of students have been unsuccessful. Or a lot of students have been unsuccessful. And we work through the lesson all the way up till we get to the quiz. So we'll work through the question. We'll, like, if it's an ELA quiz, we'll read the story. We'll read the stories. I'll show them where do you go find those stories. I'll give them the direct links to the stories. And then we will read the stories together. And then if you know, right before they go to the quiz, there are the questions. And usually those questions are very similar to the questions on the OLS quiz. If your students are coming and they're paying attention and they go and take the quiz right after, your students will be very successful. But your students need to come. So if your students have a lot of unmastered, or even if they don't have an unmastered, they just have a lot of M's for ELA, math, science, or social studies, I would strongly suggest they come to these sessions, because this entire week, the 9th through the 13th, this is the focus. These are not, I'm not required to do this. This is extra stuff that I'm doing because I don't like seeing my students have all, this level of not mastered, and overdues. And I'm not saying that all of my students have this, but there's a good portion of students who either they're not understanding it, or they're just doing it to get it done. And just, they're being, as we say in class, they're being clicky McClicker sense. And so we are a public school. This is not a homeschool. This is a legitimate public school. And so we need to make sure that we are treating this like a legitimate public school and not a homeschool. And please make sure your students are taking advantage of every opportunity that is given to them. And I hope that doesn't come across as rude or as harsh. Please know that's not the intent of what I'm saying. But I don't want my students to struggle. I want my students, as I know that you want your student, because you are the parent, you are the learning coach. You want these, because they're your child, they're your nieces, nephews, grandchildren. You have a greater stake in this than I do, obviously. If I don't want them to struggle, I want them to succeed so they can be successful going forward in the next grade and in the grade after that. Then I can only imagine what you want for them. So please know, my drive, my urgency, I know that you feel that 100 times more than I do. So please, I hope that doesn't come across as harsh or rude. That's not my intent. But sometimes in the wording and in the lack of wording and orientation, apparently, it comes across that this is a homeschool. This is not a homeschool. It is a public school that is done at home. And we need to make sure that every opportunity that is available to your students, that they are taking a full advantage. Now, if your student doesn't need to come because they're passing everything, they fully understand everything, that's great. I want them there because I'm a teacher and I love being with my students, and I love the interaction that my students have with each other. And I love that they can help their classmates, and we learn together when we're helping each other. But if they're doing great on their own and they come to class and they're successful in the lessons that we do as a whole class, and that's great. I'm happy when they're there, and yay. But help class. If your student needs it, they need to be there. With that being said, Monday open office will be required, so I can talk to them all. Tomorrow we are starting off with our dress up days. Tomorrow, dress Winter Wonderland, dress in blue, all white or all blue to look like snowflakes and icicles. Tuesday, pajama day. Wednesday, ugly sweater day. Thursday, winter hat day. Friday, dress like candy canes. Sorry, I don't know why that was hard to get out. Then the next week, the 16th, flannel day. 17th, favorite movie character day. And then the 18th, dress representing holiday traditions in your family. So, with that being said, this is just a snip, so I don't have the link. I'll get the link and send that to you guys. So if your students are dressing up for this, and you would like for them to share a picture of their outfits on our school Padlet, I will send that link for you guys, but you can always still do the QR code thing as well. With that being said, please be on the lookout. I will add the Nearpod links to their plan, but I will also email them out to them, but they will also be on their plan. So thank you for all your help and support. If your students are by the end of, so they need to all be passing. If they're passing by the 13th, just like we did with the end of the first 9 weeks, they will get a treat in the mail from me on the, it won't be on the 13th because it takes me time to like write everything. But then, so it'll be like the second 9 weeks treat, and then also the full first semester treat. So it'll be 2 little treats. But they have to be passing by the 13th. We'll also have a celebration on the 13th for all students who are passing. So that's the closing date for them to get everything caught up and passing. So if your student, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about tomorrow, is making sure everything is up to date and passing by the 13th. If they want to get a special treat in the mail, come to the party, they need to get that done by the 13th. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns from me, do not hesitate to reach out. My number is 682-777-9474. Probably hear me singing that all the time to your students. Like, please stop. And my email is tsmith@lsoa.org. Never hesitate to reach out, and I will get back to you. That being said, thank you for being amazing parents and learning coaches. I love your kiddos. They are an awesome group of kids. I look forward to finishing out this school year strong, and it'll be a great year. Alrighty. Hasta la pasta.